time before the bell goes when we finish?
When the bell rings, you will hear the bell ring, won't you? Now, will you stop asking me?
What's the rush, Rabbit? Got a date or something? Well, you could say that. I got a surprise plan for the old head.
What sort of surprise?
A red one. You know how I told you she used to believe everything? I'm going to find out if she still does.
I can't believe this. Are you really stupid, or are you just plain suicidal? You can't go around playing silly bugger games with screws.
Her head's all right. She's a real hoot. She always laughs when the joke's on her.
Rabbit, you're not in school now. You are a prisoner. She is a prison officer.
She can hardly put me in jail now, can she? I'm already here.
God.
Well, what do you do for laughs in this place?
We're not meant to be in here for laughs, are we? Now leave the screws alone. Believe me, I'm telling you, you don't want to cross one. Uh-oh. Speaking of crossing, did you enjoy your little chat with the governor?
Oh, sure. All the usual. Swapped a few recipes, had a bit of a chat.
The usual? Did you tell her why you locked Myra into the shed?
Now, did someone really do that? Which I'd thought of it.
Well, maybe you talked to her about why you bashed in your best friend Phyllis's head, huh?
Full of wind, Bryant.
Thank God you're still here, Brian. I'm glad I got one old friend around to welcome me. Oh, Smith sends her love, by the way. You can't imagine how glad she was I was coming here to look after you all.
No, but I can imagine how glad she was to see you go.
Oh, Jude, now that's not very nice. Hey, I hear you lost all your muscle. Parker's in the nut house and Desmond's done a flip.
Now, you listen to me, Winter. If you're thinking of coming in here and taking over...
I'm glad you got the picture so quick, Brian.
Just who do you think you are?
I'm your new top dog, sweetie. Fat Guts here has just been demoted.
We could be parked out here for days.
If that's how long it takes.
Mum, even if she is in there, who knows when or even if she's going to come out? And what if that Skinner bloke has seen us and does call the cops?
Yeah, I know. That's a risk we've got to take.
Look, why don't I go in there and talk to them?
No, Alan, I know what you're like. You'd throw a punch and... Hang on. Kay. God, what have they done to you?
I don't know. She seems like a pretty clear lady to me. Do you think it'll work?
Everybody has a breaking point. Just gotta hold out until we can find what hers is. She'll break sooner or later.
Oh, Struth, here you all are, eh? Why don't you all out getting some fresh air? You all look like you just crawled out from under a flat rock. How about a game of volleyball, eh? Any takers? Come on, Lee, how about you? You look
in here? You've got to be kidding. What for?
What's that she's all gawking at anyway? Must be pretty interesting.
It is. It's very interesting. It's a letter here from my old friend Phyllis. You know, the girl that got bashed?
Oh, yeah? What'd she say?
Oh, she says a bit of this and she says a bit of that. She says she can't wait to get back here amongst her friends. Hey, Reb, she particularly sent you her love.
Shut up, Bryant. You're a liar.
Did I say something wrong? Hey, I wonder if she's told them yet who bashed her.
What's the matter? You're not scared of a blank sheet of paper, are you? Well, what do you know? Phyllis can write. Bitch!
Am I ever glad to see you?
I'm not going to keep telling you, Marlene. You've got to call me Miss Rogers, okay? Now, aren't you supposed to be in the dining room?
I was on my way there, but I had to come back from my car. It's awful. There must be a dead body somewhere.
Just slow down. What are you talking about?
In my room, blood everywhere. Take a look for yourself. What do you think it is, Miss Rogers?
I don't know. I'll go and get help.
Does she recognise your writing? A bit of worried.
Come on. I don't write her many letters now, do I? Now, if I wasn't sure she was the culprit before, I certainly am now.
She's pretty jumpy. I bumped into her before she nearly went through the roof.
It's a clear-cut case of guilty conscience.
Still, she's not exactly rushing off to confession, is she?
Oh, give me time.
Hey, place here if you need company.
Hang on to your hats, girls. Here comes the rabbit.
Wearing a look that's a worry.
Oh, yuck. We're not actually supposed to eat this stuff, are
Well, it's either that or go hungry.
It's not cordon bleu, I'll grant you.
we? Edible enough.
Edible? Smells like dog's vomit.
Oh, please.
Looks like it too.
Oh, you mind? Now, some of us are trying to eat this.
Hey, my rice just moved. Bloody maggots, I don't train them properly anymore.
For God's sake, grow up, will you?
Gotcha.
Oh!
Bloody hell, Lee, I thought it was empty. Honestly, I did.
Sure.
I thought it was empty in my room. See, I played this great trick on Heather and...
Hang about.
I saw that, Templar. You're going to have to be put on a
No,
charge.
Barry, it really was. It was an accident, wasn't it, Marlene?
I accidentally kicked Lee under the table and I bumped her hand. And if it's anybody's fault, it's mine.
All right, but go and get yourself cleaned up. And Templar, get those scraps off the floor and put them in the bin.
Silly bitch. I tell you what, that bitch has gone too far.
Oh, Jude, she doesn't mean any harm.
She might not mean any harm, but she's a walking disaster area.
She just doesn't think.
Yeah, well, I think it's time that someone had a good talking to her before she goes too far. That's if she already hasn't.
All that blood in her body. Very interesting, eh?
Could have been under the bed or something.
Did you bother to look?
Oh, no, I was so shocked.
Don't suppose you bothered to look for a weapon either.
I wasn't sure what the correct procedure was, Miss Ferguson, so I thought the best thing to do would be find someone who was as quickly as possible. You see?
Yeah. I'm not blind. Fancy that. You poor thing. Lived in Australia all your life and never been to a barbecue.
What?
Your first encounter with tomato sauce. Frightening, isn't it?
It's not, is it? Oh, you must think me a bit of a fool.
Put it mildly.
I just didn't think to check.
Thinking isn't your forte, is it? You know, Roger, sooner or later you're going to come up against the real thing, body and all. God help us then.
I won't make the same mistake twice.
I doubt it. Once a panic merchant, always a panic merchant.
And then she come running out again, white as a sheet. She said she was going for help, but I bet she was going to throw up. Oh, jeez, I've never seen anything so funny in all my
Funnier than the
life.
sight of me covered in sauce, was it?
Oh, heaps! Oh, look, you're not still dirty on me about that, are you? Well, I don't suppose you thought it was funny either.
No, under the circumstances, I did not.
I wasn't breaking any rules.
Is that what you think?
Oh, well, I bet you've got rules about jokes, too.
Yes, there is a way to get a laugh. And making fun of a screw is downright dangerous.
Heather's all right, Judy. When we were at school...
You're not in school now, are you? Sit down. I think it's time we had a serious talk. Now, point number one. I hope that Heather is your mate. Because if she's not your mate, you could end up with a couple of days in solitary.
You mean like locked up on my own?
That's why they call it solitary. Point two. You or Lee or both of you could have ended up on a charge over that incident in the dining room today.
Well, I didn't know she was going to chuck food all over me.
Well, here it comes now.
About an hour ago, Officer Rogers spotted what she thought was blood in a cell. It turned out to be a particularly stupid practical joke. Tomato sauce, in fact. Now, Warren, as that so-called blood was in your cell, and as you seem to be fond of the odd practical joke, I'm assuming you know something about it.
Now, how could you assume that, Miss Ferguson?
Supposing you tell me.
Well, I would if I'd done it, but I didn't, so I can't, can I?
Don't get smart with me, Warren, or you'll find yourself in solitary. Now, I want that mess cleaned up in 30 minutes, or you'll be on a charge.
Talk about lucky.
Lucky Miss Rogers has a heart, I'd say.
You can say that again, and I hope you've learnt something.
Lesson number 1. I must take more care when choosing my victims.